The RSVP mailer tool has been significantly upgraded to allow you to compose messages using standard WordPress editor techniques. Like there, I had a columns block with one of them styled with a blue background. You can include things like upcoming event listings and have those automatically update in the body of an event. This is a welcome message that people get when they sign up for the list. And you can style these things using standard editor controls, integrated with your theme colors. So here I'm showing how I can style either the body area, the body background, or the content area where my message goes. I can style them different colors using the standard WordPress color palette. Now, if you know a little bit of CSS, there's a way of integrating that as well, so that you could do a fancy font, or you could do an image background. So this is just the CSS code that I would use to add an image background. There's a way of adding that through the UI. When I view this on the website, it's displayed in a special template that has controls for sending it up top and a preview of the actual email down below. And this should be very close to what you will actually see in your email client when you receive the message. So there are options here where I can change the title, I can tweak the content a little bit. Mostly you want to do that within the editor. And I can send a preview to myself, which is always a good idea to make sure that it actually comes out in email the way the preview says it will. I can send to website members, which are the users of the website. So if you have a membership-oriented website where you send messages to just your members, that's great. There is also now a standalone email list that you can maintain within the system. Now, for large volume email, I do recommend using a service such as MailChimp. So I have a checkbox here where I can send this out to my whole list. But for this, let me just send a test message, and we'll check to make sure that it actually came out the way it's supposed to. So it tells me who it's been sent to. It's been sent to just David. Rather than starting from scratch, I can take a blog post that I've already published to my website, and I can either copy it to email or copy just an excerpt to email with a link to the full document. So I'm going to do copy to email for this one. And from here, I can tweak it more. If I wanted to change the background color, and on this site it's actually changing it to Toastmasters branded colors because it's a Toastmasters focused website. So I'll make that the true maroon from the Toastmasters brand manual. And we'll go out and view this. And once again, we get our preview on the website. Now, this included a video. You see there's a little placeholder image for, I need to click here to go and view that video. But I can send this out to any of the usual suspects. In this case, I'm going to send it to my MailChimp list, and I'll just do create and send. And it will come back with a little message up here saying that this is on its way out to my list. There's also a version of that menu on the admin bar at the top of the screen where you can do a new email based on an event, or you can come to the dashboard where it lays out create a new event based on a special template. So here's the one with my fancy calendar background. I can create one based on an event. So we'll do one based on the Cub Scout camping trip that I've been using as a demo for years. And it will give me just a little placeholder block in there for a preview of the event with an RSVP button. Okay, so that's an easy way of including an event in your post content. So there was the content for email, and then here's where you can set up a template. So it's relatively easy to take the standard template and add your particular branding, or maybe you created, you just go ahead and create a document, you customize the way you want, and then you specify in here that this is now going to be your new default template. So you can do that kind of thing. There's a transactional template that's just used for things like the RSVP confirmation messages. So that can be a little bit different. Maybe that's a little bit simpler. You can have a welcome message. So this is if you're maintaining an independent list on the website, you can have a welcome message. So I showed you an example of that with the Toastmasters Club, that when you sign up for the list, you get a preview that includes the next events that you can sign up for. It also includes something taken from the blog about recent blog posts in a particular category. So you can customize these things in many ways. You can have some alternate templates that you use for special occasions. So maybe if you've created a wedding invitation template, that could be different from what you use as a rule. So if we want to customize any of these things, there are also previews listed here. I can click through to customize them, and we can see the calendar template background one. We have one that has no banner up top. And here is where you can include a little bit of custom CSS. So this is my fancy calendar background, image background, CSS, that little bit of code that I flashed up on the screen earlier. You can paste that in here. This is where you can change the base font or font size. So this does require knowing a little bit of CSS code. This would be an advanced technique. I would say for most people, just customize the background color, maybe add your logo, and call it a day. But if you want to do something fancy, we do have ways that you can tie that to either a particular tag, so you can change just your paragraph tag or just your heading tags, styling. And there are a bunch of built-in styles that are based on standard colors as well as colors imported from your template that are available down here. So these are all the different classes and how they map to different styles. I haven't really explained this, but it's a little bit tricky how to do CSS styling, web styling in an email, because it has to be included in line, pretty much. In order to get a consistent effect, it has to be included in line rather than in the head of the document. You can't reference external content on the web. The email clients won't allow that, or at least most of them won't allow that. So if you have something like that calendar background CSS registered in the system, what I can then do, and what I did in this case, is if I go to this, now we don't see it in the preview here within the editor, but if I select the background wrapper and I go to advanced, in just about every WordPress block, every standard block and every block that I've added on a custom basis, WordPress will provide a spot where you can add a custom class. So in this case, I put in calendar background as my custom class associated with the background area of the email, and that's what gives me that fancy effect in my email template. So you could do pretty much anything with that. It does need to be relatively simple CSS, so it's a single class to one or more rules, and those will just be implemented as a batch when the preview is generated and when the email is sent out. Finally, there is now a new RSVP mailer block just for sign up for my email list that you can add to your website. You can specify whether you want to get first name, last name, and email, or just their first name and email, or just the email. Whatever you decide, you publish that, and that will go up on your website as a separate form that people can fill out. There's something that's been in the product for a while to be used for the MailChimp integration. It still works for that, but you can also use it for your independent list. And so you can just add a little checkbox that says add me to your email list. And so in the process of filling out the RSVP form, This is what one of those forms looks like in the editor. Just add a little checkbox to the end saying add me to your email list. You can have it checked by default. There are different theories on how appropriate that is, but we won't stop here. If I now go out and look at, for example, my Cub Scout event, when I look at the forum, there will be a little checkbox at the bottom that says add me to your list, so that when I register, I will also get added to that list if I'm not already on it.